Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Real Madrid Hub. I'm your host, Dr. JOTA, and in this second video today, I will be talking about the top 3 big differences between Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane and why Real Madrid is succeeding and is going through a very sweet moment, a very kind moment, a very kind time in Real Madrid, and why all the things are going in the right direction for Los Madridistas. Because to me, this is due to something very specific, and in my opinion, if you can gather all the information that we have available, for me there are 3 big differences between the Italian coach and the French coach. But before they get started, don't get me wrong, because this is not a video to say anything derogatory or negative towards Zinedine Zidane. I mean, I don't want to say something bad, I don't want to criticize to Zinedine Zidane, because I actually respect a lot all the work he has done in Real Madrid, not only as a player but also as a coach. And nobody else has given us 3 different Champions League, 3 consecutive Champions League for anybody, even for us. So to me, that is the respect that we all have to have when it comes to Zinedine Zidane. But of course, the difference between this Real Madrid of Carlo Ancelotti and the last Real Madrid from Zinedine Zidane is pushing me for all the time to talk about that. And I've been thinking about to make this video for so long, so I decided to make it today. And so I will share with you all what are, in my opinion, the 3 big differences that I see, and of course share with me your thoughts about that. Of course, drop your comments in the section below and all the stuff right after the videos. Okay, the first big difference is the youngsters. Right now, Carlo Ancelotti is a player who thinks that the young players in Real Madrid, I mean the youngsters, are right now the right or the wisest choice for Real Madrid. The other day against Mallorca last night, the average age of the Real Madrid players was 25.2 years old. I mean, I think it was the youngest team, the youngest side, the youngest squad in Real Madrid we've ever seen in a very long time. I mean, 25 years old is just nothing. I mean, the most of them were super young. We saw the Camavinga, Rodrigo, Vinicius Jr. and all these players, you know, Miguel Gutierrez, super young players and still important. So for Carlo Ancelotti, there's no a single problem when it comes to the youngsters, because to me, Carlo Ancelotti considers them very important players that has to be there if it is needed. I mean, if Real Madrid needs the youngsters, of course they have to be there. Fede Valverde as well. So Zinedine Zidane, my opinion is, he was more hesitant, he was more skeptical when it comes to the youngsters, just because he was more confident with the older players that were or used to be the foundation of those 3 consecutive Champions League. And of course, he had more confidence, he had more trust in these players like Sergio Ramos, Isco Alarcón, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. To me, that was the big difference of Zinedine Zidane when it comes to the youngster, I mean, versus Carlo Ancelotti. So that's why we never saw super young players, I mean, or the 50% of the squad of young players in the lineup of Real Madrid. So that is the main, or that is the first big difference between the Italian coach and Zinedine Zidane. The second one is, of course, the tactics, the style, the formation that is very vertical right now, is very offensive, is very aggressive. Real Madrid is looking for the game, is looking for the 3 points, is looking for the goal since the beginning of the game. And that is something that Carlo Ancelotti advised everybody in the day of his presentation. I mean, when he was in the press conference, he said Real Madrid has to make a very spectacular football, has to be amazing, has to be nuts, and they have to play in a spectacular way. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be very vertical, very aggressive, very straight up through. I mean, looking for to win since the beginning of the game. And whereas Zinedine Zidane, Real Madrid Zinedine Zidane, was more speculative, they were all the time speculating with the ball, trying to wait for the right moment, the right timing, the right space, the right spot, That's why they were moving the ball around without any specific direction. That's why there were a lot of players in the Real Madrid Zidane that they were all the time speculating with the ball, passing the ball sideways, a lot of, security passes, a lot of safety passes, a lot of, passes with no danger at all. And that's why it was a struggle to find a goal. I mean, it was a struggle to score for us when we were under Zinedine Zidane command, just because we were waiting for the right time in the right moment. That is exactly the opposite to the style of Carlo Ancelotti, who is, more, is bolder, is more there to do a lot of things that Zinedine Zidane never tried in the past. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the second big difference: the aggressiveness, the offensiveness, the will to win all the time. That is the thing. So, and that, I mean, if we move forward, the third difference between Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane is actually the boldness. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti is taking decisions that not many people or not many coaches, including Zinedine Zidane, took in Real Madrid or any other team in soccer. For example, when it comes to Real Madrid, the other day against Mallorca, last night, we saw a completely different midfield. I mean, that was completely unthinkable under Zinedine Zidane commands to see a game in the same game without Casemiro, without Luka Modric, and without Toni Kroos. And on the other hand, Carlo Ancelotti decided to put 3 players in the midfield that never played, each other before, never played together before. Camavinga, Fede Valverde, and of course Marco Asensio, players that never played before together. So that's why he was very bold doing that. It was a very bold move because it is completely unexpected for a Real Madrid lineup not to have players like Casemiro, Kroos, or Luka Modric, and he did. For example, there was another decision he made as far as Marco Asensio. He decided to pull out Marco Asensio from the wing and put him in more interior positions where he believes that he can do a better job. And of course, the best proof of that, it was last night's performance from Marco Asensio, who scored 3 times, a hat-trick, and he played an incredible game because it was not only the 3 goals that he scored. Actually, he could score even 2 additional goals. To me, there's no better proof to that Marco Asensio is much better in interior positions than in the wing, that the last night performance. So that is the other thing. Another decision, for example, was with Vinicius Jr. For Zinedine Zidane, Vinicius Jr. was not undisputable. For Carlo Ancelotti, it's a completely unnegotiable. Vinicius has to be there, has to be in the lineup, and of course is becoming one of the most important scorers of Real Madrid, and the best scorers of Real Madrid this season. So that is the other thing. Or to make the things worse, or to support a little bit more my opinion when it comes to this third difference, the changes. When we saw every time Zinedine Zidane had to take super decisions because the game was going in the wrong direction, or something was going wrong, or we were losing a game or something like that, he took a lot of time to decide what changes had to be done, had to be made. Replacing players, or okay, I'm going to pick this one, I'm going to replace him for the other one, I'm going to bring these players off the pitch or something like that. He took a lot of time, and not all the time, not every single time he was right, he was actually wrong. So that is another difference. Carlo Ancelotti, when he's seen that the game is not going in the right direction, what he does, the first thing is to start to think in the possible changes, in the possible players that can replace to the ones that they are already playing on the field. And the other day against Valencia and against Inter de Milan, he flipped over the whole score, he flipped over the whole performance, the whole game, just because he put Camavinga on the field. You know what I'm saying? He's very sharp in that matter. It's like, okay, he thinks very fast. Okay, we are losing now, we need this guy here, we need that guy here, and he takes decision really quick. So that is the other difference. So to me, those are the most important differences I have seen so far between Carlo Ancelotti and Zinedine Zidane. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this is not something to be disrespectful with Zinedine Zidane, because actually I respect the work that Zinedine Zidane has done in Real Madrid. But of course, this Real Madrid, as you can see, guys, this Real Madrid this season from Carlo Ancelotti, with Carlo Ancelotti, it's a completely different story. Now we're looking forward to watch the games because it's spectacular the way we play. It's spectacular the amount of goals that we can score. It's a brilliant game, brilliant performances, players succeeding, players outstanding every single game. So it's really entertaining. That is the word. So to me, I mean, although I respect too much to Zinedine Zidane, it's pretty obvious that to me this Real Madrid, I like it more, much more, way more, because what I want to see every time I watch the game is what I want to see is the spectacle, the you know, the craziness, the emotions, the excitement, all the stuff. It is exactly what the fans want. And of course, for Carlo Ancelotti, he said the very first day, Real Madrid has to play impressive, has to play incredible, has to do an amazing job. It's not okay just playing or winning 1-0, that's it. That is the other thing, the other difference with versus Zinedine Zidane's Real Madrid. The thing is, every time you watch a game, you knew up front that it was going to be at most 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, things like that. You know what I'm saying? With Carlo Ancelotti, you are expecting to see a game full of goals. I mean, both sides, even the rivals are scoring to us as well. So it is a very spectacular game, very spectacular, every single, you know, spectacular team, a spectacular side. So to me, this is something that I had to do just before, so you guys know what are the big differences between Carlo Ancelotti